Hey guys, I think everybody knows that a couple months ago I was coerced into doing an inpatient psychiatric stay. And I talked about some of the other patients in there that I connected with. And there are a couple on my mind. Um, First of all, I saw a couple interactions of two people or whatever. There was one girl, she had kind of like this southern, she was younger and had this, she was kind of cute, had this kind of southern thing. And then there was a guy from Mexico who is American, I guess. Anyways, he was a cool guy. He actually was the one who inspired me to walk up and down the halls and get lots of exercise and such, instead of just sitting there being passive. And I really liked that. I appreciated that. But I remember going out, we would get smoke breaks a few times a day. And I really wanted the sunshine more than the cigarette, honestly. And that's saying a lot. And so, but I remember this young woman going up to this man for Mexican originally, whatever, and being like, it was like almost like she was like talking to him like he's a targeted individual, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, keep it on the low down low, huh? Now, interesting. I also interestingly had a some minor skin symptoms while I was inpatient. No windows, nothing like. Especially on my bed, which was a plastic mattress and stuff, and yeah, that was interesting as well. Not a great experience. And then there are two more people that I actually have hung out with since we left, and one of them was a guy about, I don't know, 10 years younger than me or so. He's like a golf pro, whatever that means. I'm caddy, I guess. And so, but I was joking around with him, and I cracked this joke, and I said, well, I was like, well, it's not like I'm going to play a game of Twister with you or anything. And I thought it was pretty hilarious. And I was definitely not making any sexual innuendos at all. And then he responded about making whipping cream, and I was just like, being my autistic self, I was just like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like, what does that mean? And I was sitting there scratching my head, like, what is that whipped cream? I don't even get what the fuck you mean. I was like, I think that's a good thing I'm not catching on. Yeah, and then I haven't heard from him since. Anyways, I was actually going to a bar in downtown Tucson to meet with this other woman who was in there, inpatient, who's been really an interesting little thing, a relationship there. She was like, oh my God, you're great, and then like ignoring me completely, and then like, oh my God, you're great, and then ignoring me completely. And I told her about how all these people taking gift cards and stuff, and to gang stalk people, they're just being manipulated, and they're idiots and stuff. And I wasn't directing it towards her. I was just venting because I really needed it. I didn't have my online platform then, and I, on TikTok and such, and I just had to express a lot of things, and she was just one person I could confide in. Huh. And then, she's obviously part of this game. Part of this game. And then she had a friend. He's like in the. He's not a financial analyst, but he's in that financial district where he helps manage people's retired money. He's definitely, pretty flaming and stuff. And we talked about like the David Letterman, Madonna interview and things like that. And he was actually pretty well versed on geopolitics for somebody who hasn't spent a whole lot of time outside the United States and things, which I found very interesting. Unlike the Middle East, he was actually pretty, fairly educated about things, but definitely slanted. Yeah, felt that. I don't know. Anyways, I wasn't ruffling any feathers with, but then the guy was like, uh, he stated that, well, we got into a political debate, and I told him that I supported RFK at the time I did. Um, and, and, uh, and he's like, well, yeah, but then with RFK, there's that whole vaccine thing, and vaccines have saved millions of lives. And I'm like, well, have they? And stuff. And so I contradicted the narrative there. Because we all know that that's the mRNA stuff is crap, and it's killing us. It didn't save millions of lives. Okay, contrary, quite the contrary. Anyways, interestingly, when I got back here afterwards, I had a fireworks show of skin symptoms and stuff, like big time, and. Yeah, I think I was being punished for attacking the COVID vaccine publicly. Well, not, it was just the three of us. We were at a bar shooting pool. Well, they were shooting pool, I think, and I was just like hanging out, talking to them, having a beer. Warsteiner, I believe. Good German beer. Anyways, and yeah, it was just like. Yeah, everything indicates that to me that this guy is part of this these secret societies and this and both of these people I befriended in the inpatient psychiatric unit are being probably given gift cards and stuff to try to sabotage me. It's like, and I'm just like, whatever. Obviously, I need a change of environment and. I need a place where I can speak freely and not have to look over my back or have fear of having stuff put in my food or my drinks or whatever that's going to make me sick or more susceptible to various pathogens. Wow, this is sort of all over the place, but it's I didn't want to create like 4 videos on this, and I hope that's all sort of ties together that people that I advocated for and stuff kind of turned on me. And it's just like, again, my trust keeps on being broken. And that people have been well aware that I've been targeted. And this is something that's well known within people on the streets and stuff, that there are targeted individuals, because all these people are working for fusion centers and getting gift cards, and they know who's targeted and who's not, even when they're not told who's targeted. So they got some insider information there, yeah, and then yeah, it's I'll just sum it there. So have a great night, guys. Oh, I also wanted to give a shout out to Dana Carvey. Made the most hilarious joke that I heard on a YouTube short today. Loved it, brother. Loved it. Have a great night.